Usually in my Little Nightmares theory videos, I like to say that this is just a possible theory, something to think about as a potential interpretation of what's going on in the games. But I have stumbled across a theory that has so much evidence that is so compelling that I am now calling it actual factual canon. So sit back, relax, grab a cup of tea and enjoy as I tell you exactly why Mono is the lady. Spoilers for all Little Nightmares games, obviously. So this theory first came to me after I spent time hiking in the Himalayas. We made camp at the halfway point and my guide started smoking this strange herb that they brought with them. It smelled a little bit funny, but for some reason I started to get lots of new ideas. One of those ideas is today's theory. Many people mistakenly believe that Mono turns into the Thin Man, or at least a version of the Thin Man. Many people believe this because it has lots of clear and obvious evidence, but I am here to tell you today that no, that is actually incorrect. As most of my theories do, this one started with a single idea. The thing that really got my brain juices flowing, and that is the bag that Mono wears on his head. Many people think that this is to hide his identity, but what so many have overlooked is that paper bags actually have a very clear role in society. That role is hiding the faces of ugly people. Paper bags have been used in England for many years to allow ugly people to walk in the streets without ridicule. Before paper bags were invented, ugly people were hunted down and persecuted because people just couldn't bear to look at them. It's a harsh truth, but this is Little Nightmares after all. In 2005, Mr. Brown Paper invented what we now take for granted as the mask that Mono wears. So we now know that Mono is horrendously ugly, and who else do we know that is absolutely hideous? The lady. She's so uggo that she spends her time sobbing in the mirror, and let's face it, who would blame her? But there is another reason she might be sobbing here. She lost her favourite mask. Paper bags have been essential for society for many years now, but due to the nature of paper, they don't last very long. The lady has clearly lost her paper bag, probably due to a rainy day, and we know that Mono spent time outside in the rain during Little Nightmares 2. Maybe she's sobbing not only because she's ugly, but because she lost her favourite paper bag all those years ago. We even see that Mono removes the bag and lets it float away before fighting with the Thin Man. Perhaps the lady regrets tossing away her favourite paper bag so casually. The lady has now upgraded to porcelain masks, as they just last much longer than paper. She probably learnt this from the time that she wore a porcelain mask when sneaking past the bullies in the school. But I'm not done yet, even if you wished I was. One of the defining aspects of Mono's outfit is his key that is attached to his coat. Who else has a key in her bedroom? That's right, the lady. But these aren't just two separate keys, they are the same key. You can tell if you look really closely. They are both key-shaped. This proves 100% that they are the same one. So how did the lady get Mono's key? Well, simply because she is Mono. A further piece of evidence that we have is in Mono's name. Sure, we have discussed previously that the name Mono probably has ties to Mono's loneliness. Well, who also spends the majority of her time alone? The lady. She's so sad about it that she has befriended a group of dolls, because no one else will be her friend, probably because of how ugly she is. But let's dive even deeper into that name, shall we? Mono. It's actually an anagram for Om Nom. Om Nom is the sound you make when you eat. Who runs an establishment all about eating? The lady. Coincidence? Highly unlikely. So you may be wondering how exactly Mono got to the moor in the first place. Well, it's pretty obvious if you think about it. He swam. Those long lanky arms would have made it incredibly easy for Mono to swim fast, coupled with the fact that he's very thin, he's also incredibly streamlined. It's not a stretch to assume that Mono could have gotten from the Pale City to the moor in around 5 minutes. Trust me, I did the calculations. But if you think about this theory a little bit more, it makes the entire story all the more tragic. Some people have theorized that the Pretender's parents are the Thin Man and the lady based on this picture we see in Very Little Nightmares. If that were true, that would mean that Mono marries himself, and that would make so much sense. He's so lonely and so ugly that no one wants to date him, so he eventually just decides to date himself, leading to him creating the Pretender. Mono pretended to be married, and now his child pretends to have friends, yet another cycle of horror in the world of Little Nightmares. This also makes Mono and Six's story even more poignant. Six drops Mono, which makes him become the Thin Man. The Thin Man then travels to the moor, becomes the lady, and starts a new business venture to try and move on and forget the past. Six then busts in and kills the lady, finally finishing the job she started all that time ago. Mono, aka the lady, just cannot catch a break from this kid. So there we have it, conclusive proof that Mono is the lady. This is now confirmed canon, and all other theories are null and void. Speaking of all other theories, every single one of Game Assault's theories are actually incorrect. I found this out due to a leak from MI5, but unfortunately, due to legal reasons, I cannot share the document. It's a real shame, as I really enjoy his theories on Little Nightmares, but I guess he is now an enemy of England for sharing false theories. I hope you enjoyed my 100% actual factual confirmed canon theory on Mono and the Lady. If you want more theories that weren't released on April the 1st, I have a bunch more on the channel, so feel free to subscribe. It only costs £10 to hit that subscriber button, so you should absolutely do it, and also tell your grandma to do it as well, because I really need more money for Warhammer miniatures. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.